Welcome, one and all. And this is another exciting episode of Empower Volusia Common Sense. And today we're going to really throw out some common sense for you. That's right. Well, got to tell you, though, that you can hear that we are, well, let's start off with where we're at. We're hidden in an iron bunker in an undisclosed location in the West Volusia Highlands. And we are guarded by 2 rabid Pomeranians and 1 crazy cat. That's right. And, today's date is the 28th of August, 2019, and we got a little bit of a problem, folks. That's right. We don't want anybody to be caught off guard. So guess what? This here is your wake-up call. That's right. Time to get up. Time to pay attention. Time to listen. We don't want you to get caught with your pants down. That's right. Down south of Florida in near Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic, there's this little thing called Tropical Storm Dorian. And, and I bring this forth to everybody because, it's very important that everybody understands that these, for all those people that are just moved here from out of state somewhere, these things ain't nothing to play with. These hurricanes, these tropical storms, they are nothing to mess around with. I've lived through many of them here, both when I was a young lad, many, many years ago in Apopka, Florida, and currently here in Volusia County. Even when I was the county chair, we had actually 2 hurricanes come in one year, then the next year. It was crazy. And, now, of course, our Volusia County government, we have an emergency management system set up that is very well organized. And we have a system and a building and everything ready to rock and roll to help you out. And right now, I'm sure it's been activated, although we really don't like to. I said when I cut the ribbon on that building, I hope all we ever have to do here is just keep the dust down. Well, unfortunately, we've had to activate the system a couple of times. So, here's what's going on, folks. Today is Wednesday, the 28th. By Sunday, this hurricane should be making landfall. They don't know if it's going to be a hurricane, and that would be Sunday, the 1st of September. What a lovely day. But anyways, we hope it doesn't do what it's projected to do. Now, they're projecting it to go over the western side of Puerto Rico. Poor Puerto Rico. They've had so many billions of dollars stolen and taken out of their coffers by politicians down there. And then everybody wants to blame our country for not sending them money, and we did. We sent them billions of dollars to rebuild. And there's still people there living under blue tarps with no power, no water. Now, that's a government that's kind of failed everybody, and I have to go with that because it's true. Sometimes, the truth is it's a bad thing, but it is what it is. So, anyways, we're not going to, you know what? That is the truth, and I'm going to have to play the soundbite.
You can't handle the truth!
And a lot of people can't, and they're still blaming us for not doing anything for them when their government should have been doing a lot of things, and they didn't. Billions of dollars have been sent there. Billions of dollars have disappeared. Now what? And they don't have power and water still in many, many outlying areas. But digressing. Let us not get caught with our pants down. And this is a warning to everybody that's listening here today or tomorrow, whenever you listen to this morning, this evening, or today sometime, or tomorrow. You need to pay attention. You need to listen to the emergency management system that when this storm hits, wherever it hits, if it hits the state of Florida, there will be widespread power outages. I'm warning you. This is the warning, folks. We will be looking at widespread power outages, water breaks, damage to private property, damage to public property. There will be power lines and transformers exploding and power lines down and traffic signals out. And right now it's projected to hit down there near Cocoa and Titusville as of this date. But folks, a hurricane can be very unpredictable. It could stop, move out, go north, and miss Florida completely. Or it could stop, move out, and go north just a little bit. It could hit Daytona Beach and come in through Daytona Beach. It could hit Jacksonville, or it could just follow Andrew and go down across Miami. These are dangerous storms, folks. Very, very dangerous. So be prepared. So here is today on the 15th, or on the 28th today. And what am I doing? Well, you know what? We here at the Old Iron Bunker, we have always tried to be prepared for situations that come up. You know, we got charcoal here to cook on the grill, which I kind of like to cook on the grill anyways. You know, we have ways of preparing food, and we're good. I went out and bought a big monster 15,000 watt generator. Yeah, it didn't cost much when I bought it, but today if you wanted to go buy it, see, here's the thing. If you're waiting for the last minute to do anything, first things first, you're not going to find a generator big enough. You need to find out how many kilowatts you need. I only need 12 to run this house and the Iron Bunker here. But you need to figure out how many kilowatts you need to run your house. That means your refrigerators, your hot water heaters, your air conditioning, because trust me, when I got out of office that year, 2016, yes, 2016 was my last year, 2017, we moved on with life, and we had a hurricane that year, and I had a generator, but I didn't have a big enough one. See, this is where proper prior planning prevents poo-poo performance, folks. That's right, the 8 P's of life. There's 8 words there, and each one has a P. Proper prior planning prevents poo-poo performance. Actually, it's 7. I'm sorry. I miscounted. So, the 7 P's of life you need to follow. So, I didn't have a big enough generator. I was able to run fans in the house to keep keep the house kind of cool, because right after a hurricane, it may be a little cooler. Oh, that's nice. Oh, so wonderful. But when the sun comes up, it gets hot and humid and disgustingly unbearable. And the house will sweat. Yes, your house will sweat. Without air conditioning, the humidity will soak into the interior walls on your floor. And here's another little thing that a lot of people don't understand. You live in Florida, folks. When the water levels rise, bugs and little pests are looking for a place to get dry and not drowned. So they're coming to your home. And one way to help keep them out is to keep the place cool. Don't ask me why. I guess they just don't like the dramatic change in the temperature. So there you go. So that's one thing you need to do. You need to get something that's going to run your air conditioner. Most air conditioners run on, I guess, about 4,000 watts to run and do their thing. Okay. So you better have something a lot bigger than a 4 kW generator. Otherwise, yeah, you're going to have air conditioning, but you're not going to have TV. You're not going to, and you're not going to have anything else. And I always laugh at these people. You know, you're listening to the radio, or you got it on your cell phone, or if you're lucky enough, you know, you have some sort of communication, and you're listening to everybody, and they say if you have a power outage or a cable outage, and most people have cable internet, if you experience a cable outage, please go to www.cableoutage.com or wherever. How can you do it? You don't have internet. You don't have power. So power is very, very important. It will make your life greatly. It will benefit you, believe me. So I'm not selling any particular product or anything. I went online and looked around and found an inexpensive generator which would satisfy the needs. And yes, it cost about $2,000. And I put it in. Of course, I know how to wire things up like that. I was an electrician, worked in the electrical field for years. So anyways, so we got everything all wired up. What do you need now? Well, you need to make sure that you have water. So here in the old iron bunker, we have a deep well, so I'm not worried about water. The pump runs and the water fills the house, and we're good. Also, if you're on a city system, now this could be a little hinky, because without power, the city system can't chlorinate and fluorinate and do all the other horrible chemicals they put in water, so they can pollute and poison you. So their systems don't work, so they say you need to boil water. Great. You need to have power to boil water or a gas-fired stove of some sort. So plan for the fact that you're going to need water. Okay? Have bottles of water for drinking. Fill your bathtubs up for washing. That's what you do. And that's how you preserve water. And you get ready, and this sounds disgusting. I'm giving you common sense here, folks, because that's what we are all about. We're about your common sense. And sometimes common sense just ain't too damn common. And I apologize for that people are not thinking ahead and using common sense to prepare for a disaster. And this is going to be a natural disaster. It will. The governor will probably issue a state of emergency for certain counties. We will have FEMA flying all over the place. Of course, when we had the hurricane last time, luckily for us, the old iron bunker withstood it, and we didn't have any problems. But, I keep seeing people, even to this day, I drive down the road sometimes, and I look, and there's a blue tarp. We see blue roofs, which is not very cool. So anyways, so be prepared. So you have your generator, you got your water. Now make sure you have plenty of cans of food. Cans of food. Try that again in English now. You need to stock up on cans of food. Okay, but you should have been doing this actually every day. Prepare. Proper prior planning prevents poo-poo performance. The 7 P's of life. Make sure that you have your documentation for your house readily available. In case something happens, you can pull it out and say, here's my insurance, here's my mortgage, here's everything. Okay, we got that. Make sure that you have, your medication set aside if you need some that, are, getting, that might expire. Get a styrofoam container, large one. We call those coolers, styrofoam coolers, and just be prepared. Have blocks of ice frozen up and ready to go. Blocks of ice. Yes, you get a plastic container and put water in it, freeze it. Do it now. Get ready now. Because there are not that many bright people in the world, folks, apparently. Because there are a lot of people that wait till the exact last second to try to do anything.
Mama says stupid is as stupid does.
And that is true. Stupid is as stupid does. And don't wait till the last minute. I see it all the time. People are running around, oh, it ain't going to be bad, oh, it's not going to happen, oh, nothing. And you're in denial, folks. It's a hurricane. It's coming up here. I don't care if the eye does not hit anywhere near the iron bunker, because people don't realize. A lot of people that have been here understand this, but you new people that have come here to Florida, you don't get it. That's just the center of the storm. The thing can be literally thousands of miles wide. Those white clouds are not fluffy white clouds. They are storm clouds, and they are called rain bands and storm bands. They sometimes are more devastating than the eye wall of a hurricane. The eye of a hurricane is actually the calmest part of a hurricane. And if you're on the west side of a hurricane, that's actually the calmer side too. So, here we are. We're not, according to the latest reports that I saw, This thing's going to hit somewhere around Cocoa-Titusville area. It's going to come onshore. We're going to be the Iron Bunker area. We're going to be the northwest. We're not going to get whacked too hard. But as this thing moves across the state straight, we'll be in the middle of it. And it'll hit us. And we are ready. We have water. That's right. We have power. I don't care what happens to the power grid. Because up here near the Iron Bunker, sometimes a bird just lands on the line and it takes the power out. I have communication because we have, a lot of people don't know this, I have satellite internet because I can't get cable to me or telephone, so I have to have satellite. But as soon as the cloud clears, I have connection and internet access immediately. I don't have to wait for the cable company to come out and plug it back in. We also have satellite TV because, of course, we don't get cable out here, and we have connection to news and information at all times, which is another thing that is very, very important. You need to have some way of communication with the outside world, and I'm not meaning your cell phone. Cell phones will get over-inundated, and the systems crash. They do all the time. What you need to have is you need to have some way of turning on a box of some sort, whether it's a TV or a computer or something, and find out what is going on and where to go and who to call and who to discuss matters when you need help. So have that ready. This is called emergency management planning, folks. And if you haven't been doing it for the past 2 or 3 years, you're behind the power curve. So this is a very somber and very serious situation that we are coming up to, folks. And goodness sakes, I hope this thing gets caught in the Gulf Stream and blows out to sea. I do not want anybody hurt. I don't want anybody to lose property. I don't want anybody to have any hardships whatsoever. And I really don't care what side of the aisle you sit on. This is one of these times when we all need to come together. So, I mean, I actually was kind of surfing through the net. I actually saw somebody say, "Oh, well, this hurricane must be Trump's fault." I was like, "Come on, folks, get over it." Anything to cause a problem, I suppose, or to make news, or to make a stupid statement just so they get somebody to write them or text them or whatever they do with them nowadays. So there we go. Now, the storm has come. The storm has gone. Here's the next most important thing. Once you walk around your property, your house, your building, your horses, your cats, your chickens, your dogs, everything, all the kids are where they need to be, wife, husband, grandma, grandpa, everybody's fine. Once you have established that information and you don't have any further emergencies going on, the next most important thing to do is stay home. Yes, stay home. I will tell you a story. When Charlie came through, my mother and I lived over, I lived over in Port Orange. Mom lived over in Port Orange. And, she lived down the road from me. The storm came through. It was getting pretty heavy. It was going to be a bad one. We knew it. So I offered her, extra room in the house, stay with us. We live in a big house. You live in a trailer. No, I'll be fine. So she was fine. Or so she thought. And she started getting a little concerned. And I said, okay, come to the house. It's not too bad. It's just a rainstorm right now. But get up here because we're just at the beginning. So she drove up to the house. She stayed at my house. No problem. Life is good. Well, the storm blew by. And, we had no power. Well, actually, we had power because we were, right off the main grid. And they got to have the main grid for fire and all that good stuff. So we did, we were okay. But the storm went by. We were sitting around, just relaxing. Okay, everybody's fine. Life is good. My mother goes, I got to go see what happened. I say, what? She goes, I got to go out there and see what happened. I says, Mom, you see the square box over there in the cabinet? She goes, yeah. I said, it's television. We have cable. Watch this. Click. Oh, that's what happened. She goes, no, I got to go see it. No, Mother, stay home. Do not go driving down the road. Oh, I gotta go. Oh, and she was just so adamant. It was absolutely, almost, it was to the point of annoying. To where, I held her back as long as I could. I said, fine, go home, go do what you're going to do. Go check your house. Yeah, I'm just going to go check my house. I said, no, you're not. You're going to go drive up and down the road. No, I'm going to go to the house. Well, she went to the house. She did. And then she went driving up and down the roads. She kind of got into a little bit of a trouble. She was driving around just lollygagging and oogling and looking a little looky-loo at all the damage and all this stuff, which it was pretty bad. We had power lines down and everything. But there wasn't that much widespread damage. It didn't look like Andrew came through. I mean, there were some roofs off and there were some things going on. But, most of it was just power lines down. And she was driving around in this stuff. They pulled her over and said, what are you doing? Well, I'm just out driving. Go home, ma'am. Well, go home, ma'am. Go home, ma'am. That's what they told her. Finally, she figured out, well, I guess I better go home. And she went home. Stay home, folks. You will see all the damage that you could possibly want to see on the news, because I guarantee you, I guarantee you that they will over-exaggerate on the national news the damage and destruction that happened. They'll be standing in a ditch up to their hips in water while people are walking up and down the street. They'll be fighting the wind with an umbrella, and there'll be people standing there looking at them like, what are you doing? I mean, it's all a show for you, folks. That's they have taken the news, and that's the problem with our news lately, is they have taken the news and they made it entertainment. It is not. It's supposed to be information. But they will entertain you with the devastation and destruction of wherever this thing is hit. And that's what they're going to do. So, beware. Number one, forewarned is foretold. And just be careful. And don't go anywhere. Stay home. If you apparently, unless you're a cop or a firefighter, I'm sure that your boss is going to say, no, stay home. We're not open today. I mean, Walmart, Winn-Dixie, and Home Depot and Lowe's and all these stores, nobody's going to work because they're at home cleaning up their yard. Do that. Clean up your yard. Make sure everything's fine. But be ready. Make sure you have gas for your generator. Make sure you have gas in your car. Make sure you have cash in your hand, because if the power goes out, there's no ATMs. Okay, so make sure you are prepared, folks. Follow the 7 P's of life. Proper prior planning prevents poo performance. Do it. Mark my words. There will be many that won't do it. And today being Wednesday is a good day to go out and make sure you have all your to-go bags and boxes and equipment ready to go. You're not going to get a generator today, so forget it. If you're lucky, you might get one. Make sure it's big enough to operate your house. I mean, we can operate the whole entire iron bunker on my generator. So, there we go, folks. This is our public service announcement and our warning for everybody out there. That's right. Get ready for this hurricane or tropical storm, whatever it may turn out to be. And please, 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 use some common sense.